House of Wax is sometimes shelved together with other early 2000s horror films that copy the slasher genre and are ridiculed for it. But people who have seen House of Wax tend to not give it a chance because, oh, there is way too many early 2000s rock in it, or it's way too predictable for what it's trying to sell, or because as the tagline showcases, Paris Hilton is in it and you can watch her die within the movie. There's a lot of reasons as to why people dislike or like this film, and honestly, I think it definitely deserves a reevaluation. Because as the years have gone on, I believe House of Wax is a very interesting and unique take on the horror genre. A unique cast of characters in a creepy, picturesque town that just feels hollow and lifeless, as it actually is, and then a brother and sister dynamic that actually feels real and keeps you invested. The kills are pretty nasty, and the special effects for said kills hit pretty hard, even by today's standards. I think the overall death premise is also cool, whereas you don't have a Freddy or a Jason, what you have instead is the Sinclair brothers that have basically successfully turned their small town into a house of wax or a town of wax. And you could ultimately say that this was these young teenage kids' faults for going into their house and basically touching everything. But the Sinclairs are basically evil. And they come in and they're just terrorizing everybody. And watching these kids try to escape this situation is exactly what a horror film is supposed to be. It's fun. And you see a lot of that through this. I cannot express to you just how much rock and roll is in this, from listening to songs from the Deftones, Disturbed. It really is a product of its time. God, there's nothing better than watching the ending of this film and listening to Helena by My Chemical Romance. There's just something that it hits you, and if you were there when it first came out, you just get that. I think House of Wax keeps us invested because, again, it's one of those what-if stories. You have a group of people that are coming about. You have this big burly man who is just trying to do his job and just has a problem with covering everything he loves in wax. So the violence is great. The scares are pretty generic. But I think the overall story itself and the way it all comes together is a worthwhile tale. And I don't think it should be just put to the corner as just anything else. I think it stands the test of time. And it's a good guilty pleasure because even with Paris Hilton, if you enjoy watching her die, that's one thing. I thought her character was pretty good. I thought she did a good job. So ultimately, you give or take what you enjoy. But House of Wax is definitely a movie that I choose to enjoy because it is worth your time.